Welcome to Wizard World Virtual Experiences presents the cast from Once Upon a Time. Please help me in welcoming first to this virtual stage. We know him as Pinto from Pirates of the Caribbean. He's also from the Star Trek franchise and numerous other TV shows and films. Please give it up first for Lee Arenberg.
What's up, Mike? Thanks for having me. Hello, world. Excited to be here, brother.
All right, welcome next to the stage. You know him from Greek, The Walking Dead. He plays the older Henry Mills. Let's give it up for Andrew J. West.
Hello, what's up, everybody? It worked. I'm here.
Oh, buddy.
We made it past the first technical feat there. Nice job, Andrew.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we can't have.
Did it.
Got to be the hardest part.
That's the hardest part. It's all smooth sailing from here. We have the older Wells, and I hate to call you older Henry Mills, but you are, because we also have.
We like to go with seasoned.
Oh, seasoned. All right, we already have seasoned Henry Mills here. Let's bring the original Henry Mills out here. We also know him from Mad Men and Hawthorne. Give it up for Jared Gilmore.
Hello there, everyone.
Hello there. Golf clap.
Original recipe, Henry has made.
Original recipe, yeah.
Actually, we are both. It's one of the episodes, one of my favorite titles. They always go, "Are you dreamy? Are you grumpy? Which one are you, Leroy?" We are both.
Let's go. How's it going, chat? Good to see you.
And last but not least, it's Robin Hood, everybody. We know him from Eve and The Class and the most recent season of The Magicians. Please give it up for Sean Maguire.
Hello,
Sean.
I'm getting a strange thing saying the host has asked you to start your video chat. I'm good, right? I'm on. I'm not a very technical person, so I apologize.
What we did, Sean, is we kicked you out because you were there. You were spoiling it for the fans.
I came on too early, didn't I? I did.
Yeah, and then we invited you back in.
I blew it.
He was too anxious.
That's all right.
I'm worried about Jared, but the rest of us, this is a big accomplishment that we all made it, I feel like.
Congratulations, everyone. You've made it this far.
Well, I'm just saying this is one of the great opportunities in this event is to learn. Like, we have a great opportunity while we're all inside to learn something new.
Totally.
Like, I got this great advice for these times. The 4 M's: meditation, movement, mastery. Learn to cook, learn to paint, learn a language, learn something new, right? And practice that. And then meaningful conversations.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's something I'm definitely trying to employ.
Let's try to make it.
You're speaking of the times, Lee. What I'd love to get started, and the fans are already blowing it up on the Twitch feed right now with I love yous and hearts and smiley faces. They binge Once Upon a Time now. Grumpy was my favorite. I love you, Sean. All kinds of stuff going on over there. And what's awesome about this is, like you said, Lee, even though we're separated, physically right now, we can still make these connections through this digital form. And I know, speaking as a fan of the show and just as a fan in general of your all's work, we thank you. I speak for all the fans on Twitch right now and thanking you for joining us for this and providing us a brief respite, from what all the times that are going on. And that's what I want to start off with. I'd love to just kind of go around the room or go into each one of your individual rooms. And just let us know how you're doing, what you've been doing the past the time. We've got a great question from a fan out there that also wants to know what your character from Once would be doing in this difficult time. So let's take that. Let's start with that. How are you doing? What have you been personally doing? And then what might your character from Once be doing if quarantined? Whoever wants to kick it off.
Well, sorry.
You go ahead, Sean. It's all you.
My character lived in the woods with a bunch of men anyway. So there's not really a huge difference. My sons were camping out in the yard last night, and I was like, yeah, that seems about right. Let's get young, merry men living a basic life, but also with Wi-Fi. I don't know if the merry men ever had Wi-Fi, but anything could have gone differently if they did.
I've been watching a lot of tutorials on how to cut your own hair. Suddenly that's become like a very big concern for me. But now I know I'm looking at Lee. I think I might just have to go full Lee because you really make it work. I might have to.
It's a look And Mike, I mean, it's good for I had the big beard. I was like, that's got to go.
But
I mean, for health reasons, you don't want a mustache or beard that's too long. Yeah. If we have to like go to that.
I got the good goatee. I don't know that I could pull off the goatee like you do. I feel like the goatee.
I almost went Fu Manchu, bro. I was this close. I'm gonna. Let's do another. I'm gonna go Fu Manchu. I'm gonna say this about my character though. Yeah. My character was like a janitor. So my dude would be front line and center cleaning that Storybrooke with disinfectant, making sure I'd maybe be a little overboard, like the curse, it's here for real, fuckers, you know?
You're like Nostradamus. You've been predicting this for 8 years.
Oh man, what if that was the curse? It all came back around to this. Oh my god. Yeah. Jared, how about you? What do you think?
I think Henry would most certainly be writing. He'd be telling stories as he does. He'd probably be playing a lot of video games similar to me. So that's a lot of fun.
By the time I got to jump in, Henry kind of already was a shut-in anyway, sort of.
Yeah, so you know,
good. Henry's good. He's gonna survive.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but how important storytelling is right now for the Henrys, right?
Yeah.
Like we're delving into all kinds of content, and I mean, like gaming, the stories of that.
Yeah.
Great literature. Cracked an old book. It was like, wow, an old book. I was holding a book.
Awesome.
I know. As for me, Jared, what I've been doing to pass the time and to stay positive and stay healthy is I've been streaming on Twitch. I have a channel here where I play video games, hang out, chat, just have fun, give people a place to come, to stay positive, to have a little bit of an escape from the turbulent world that we're living in right now. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your current game? I know you were big Overwatch, obviously, and played in the league. What's your game of choice right now?
My current game, I'm waiting. Riot Games, the company that has developed League of Legends, which is a fairly large game, is developing a new first-person shooter called Valorant, and I'm super excited for that. I've been talking about it a bunch on Twitter. I was lucky enough to get a beta key yesterday, so I'm going to be streaming that starting on the 7th. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've been so hyped. Yeah. So, it's always nice to have those glimmers of I guess, positivity and happiness and excitement, even with everything happening right now. And of course, like as always, stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. He's speaking all the language. He's speaking all the language of our viewers right now. So thank you. Let's go out to the question. So that the question about what your characters would be doing during the quarantine goes out to Petite Noodle. So thank you for that question, Petite Noodle.
Yeah, thank you.
But you mentioned a little bit about everyone hopping in, to the show at different points. Obviously, Jared, you were there, for the whole run. Same with you, Lee. For those 6 seasons. Sean, I know you came in around 3, I think, and then had stuck around until the end. But then Andrew, I know we got you right at the end there for that final season, but we got to see the sort of what would happen to Henry. And I just want to know, there's been a lot of comic books. There's been some books written afterwards. And this is a question from Super Case X. They would like to know, would you ever want to be a part of or participate if a movie version came out of Once Upon a Time?
Oh my God, absolutely. For sure, 100%. And and if something like that were to happen, I'd be on board in a heartbeat. But I also think there's obviously so much opportunity for cool stuff that you could do. And one of the things too that I really love that Eddie and Adam worked into the very end of what turned out to be the end of the series is the stuff that Jared and I got to do together.
Yeah, that was great.
That was hands down some of the most fun scenes that I got to do the entire, one season that I was on the show.
Same. That was so much fun. I'd love to explore that more.
Yeah, because man, I watched so much of your work to prepare for the job. And then I was thinking I'm sure they're going to bring Jared back for the final season and flashbacks and stuff, but I was kind of bummed out because I was like, but I'll probably never get to work with him because I don't know how the heck that would happen. But then, of course, I wasn't thinking this is once upon a time. They can make any
time travel.
So it was so cool when they figured out the storyline for like alternate versions of the character and stuff like that. And I absolutely love doing that stuff. If something like that were to happen or exist, it would be so great. It would be cool because everybody could, I'm sure, like get involved in some way or another,
Yeah,
definitely.
No spoilers to some characters' demises. We won't say who. But it's a fantasy world, right? They're fantasy characters, and we've seen alternate timelines and time travel. So I wonder, Sean and Lee, how about yourself? Do you feel like the story's done, the characters are done, or do you see more potentially coming out of these characters?
After you, Lee.
Oh man, of course there's more, it's good writing, it's creativity, unlock the door. I mean, I needed a scene with Jack Sparrow versus Captain Hook. I needed Darth Vader in town, that's where instantly I would go for some new villains or some new scenes I'd like to play. Because I'd like to play against myself, like as Pintel. Hello, Poppy. Right? Just as an actor, the amazing challenge of playing multiple aspects of, like, with me, Dreamy. I mean, dude, I had to make that up. I haven't been like ever. I was born hatched out of an egg with a giant beard. Like, that was like make believe, dude. So I would be honored, if Eddie and Adam called me to read the phone book, I would do it.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Those guys for sure.
Yeah, Eddie and Adam, for those who don't know, I'm sure your fans out there, obviously the show creators, brilliant gentlemen that have written a bunch of amazing things. Sean, what do you think? Would you come back to Robin and kind of see what's going on with his life and the Wicked Witch and things like that?
I think any opportunity to get this cast back together, like as Lee just said, even if it's to get us all together to read the phone book, I'd do it because I took more friends away from this show than possibly any other production I've ever worked on. And wow. All of us guys know each other well. And a lot of us have, taken real friendships that will probably last a lifetime. So, often actors will answer that question by saying, well, if the script was good, then, I'd do it. In this case, even if the script was terrible, which it would not be, we would all still do it because I think every one of us really enjoyed being with each other. I mean, that in itself would be just a wonderful experience.
For me, I literally grew up on set with you guys. It's hard to believe that I'm going to be 20 this year. You guys have known me since I was 10, which is incredible.
I love you, dude.
I grew up alongside you guys, and you are an extension of my family. You are my family at this point. So any opportunity I have a chance to work with you and give you a chance, give us a chance to play off each other again, just in one of those epic scenes in Granny's or something. I don't know.
Jared, bro,
I got to go to Granny's.
Jared, I got to give you some love, bro, because I love you so much, man. And you are one of the coolest men that was a child actor in Hollywood. I don't know how you did it. Kudos to your family. But
my family, you guys.
Others, I know, but what I'm saying to you, my brother, is like, God, you're just helping people and your message of hope. And when you just said, I've known you since you were 10, I mean, like, wow, bro. Just temporary love, like bro love right there. I'm broing out.
Yeah.
Jared, when I get together with some of the old folks from Once Upon a Time, we still talk about the speech that you gave at the series wrap and when we all gathered in Colin's trailer. Remember that?
That was so good. I remember. I saw an amazing memory.
And we were talking about that, but yeah, man, you're amazing. I mean, just to get to know you through that last season too is
getting to know everyone. Like, it's just such a wonderful
experience. Though, Mike, don't you guys think it's really like the set? And we had a lot of camaraderie, but like Chris Gauthier and Andy, and people we become really tight with through the cons.
Yeah.
And it's like, so kudos to the con world really for getting and hooking up, and the fans for jumping in on this, because this opportunity, like I say, of meaningful connection is still possible.
Well, that's like you and I, Lee. I think we're only ever on set maybe like once together, but I got to know you through the convention world. Like we've been doing this stuff for years, and like that's how we, became friendly. But yeah,
I have a lot of gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude for the convention world. We're entertainers, and we realize when our world's shut down now, we can't go shoot a show. We're like, wow, how do we get to entertain? What do we contribute to this world? We're not a grocery guy or a nurse, right?
Well, I think sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Lee, but I think what you all contribute is what you're doing right now. It gives us a break from the reality, you know what I mean? And you're providing an entertainment for the fans out there. And to Sean's point, what an amazing cast of people that have created this fandom. And no offense to the gentleman here, but what an amazing cast of strong women characters that we had before. Jennifer, Lana, Jennifer, I mean, all of them. And I misspoke before and said Wicked Witch and meant Evil Queen, but all of those amazing characters getting together. And so the question from everyone out there that's been popping up a little bit is just, I'd love to hear more about the experience of shooting on set. There's a bunch of variations of this question, but one comes from Amanda Basquin. They say, I need some laughter in my life. What are some fun things or funny things that you can remember from shooting once?
Oh God. I mean, every time you have a scene with Colin and Colin wasn't on camera, he'd do everything in his ability to make you laugh. It does not matter what kind of scene it was. It could be the most serious scene ever, but he'd be behind the camera making some face, or he'd always be there trying to stay positive. I remember he'd always do a Liam Neeson impression. He'd just like sneak up behind you and do a Liam Neeson impression. He's like, I have a very particular set of skills. And you'd be like, what the hell is happening?
Did he ever try to do an impression of you though? Because that's what I got.
God, no.
He would do me doing Henry. It always kind of sounded like Christian Slater to me. His very Christian Slater.
I remember his Christian Slater impression.
And Josh's Kevin Spacey impression.
Oh, it was a great one.
His Frank Underwood impression was particularly good.
It was very well done.
I used to. Were you guys ever there when I would riff as Josh's acting teacher?
Yeah,
I'd be like, Josh, your wife is so much better. Mark the groin. You're fast. Learn to bow. I would make him bow in the middle of a scene. You have to. The work is long, and comedy is the key, man.
And I think when there was a lot of us together, rather than it being particular running bits, I like when you get high school or college friends together. There, and as Lee just said, long days, sometimes long cold nights. You do find it within yourself trying to go, well, if I can make my fellow castmates laugh a little bit, the time passes so much quicker. And there was a lot of that. There was a lot of laughing together to kind of get through the long cold nights. And
what about the crew?
These are my happiest memories, funnily enough.
What about like Sarah Greens and some of the
Sarah.
Legendary crew members, Craig Powell and Rob. Yeah.
God, I miss the crew.
I saw Craig, and I actually just got directed by Craig's wife, Shannon, on The Magician.
Oh, yeah.
And they've finally welcomed a little girl into the world, I think about a year now. So very happy for them. Super nice couple.
Incredible.
Sean, there's been a little bit of chatter going on in the stream chat just about your finger. People are concerned. I hate to put you on the spot there, but are you okay? Like, is everything all right? The fans are
okay. I think it was yesterday. My son I was trying to help. He was swimming and then trying to get out of his nappy and his shorts, and he caught his leg and was going to face plant the concrete. So I went to grab him and I hit my little finger into the palm of my hand and broke it the other way. And which is not like me. I was very quick thinking and realized I cannot go to the hospital with a broken finger. I would be laughed out of the hospital, and quite rightly so. So I just put it back in place, and it hurt quite a lot. And my wife was wise enough to say, quick, ice it and strap it together.
Yeah.
And then today she got me a kit from CVS. So that I don't have a really weird crooked finger when I come out of hibernation. Yeah.
Well, you're getting a lot of love. You're getting a lot of love out there, and well wishes on getting better.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I feel like I'm a real tough guy with a pandemic going on. I'm like, my poor finger.
That's all but on another note, like on a serious note, like that's why if you have the stay home, that's why it's great to stay home, stay online, chat with your oncers, just to stay off the road. Because if you had like car crash or if you had like a problem and you need the services, they're all taken.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the whole flatten the curve social distancing in a nutshell, bro.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Stay home.
And it sounds like for me, because I've smashed my fingers too, like over the years, that's all the doctor would do for you.
Yeah.
So you did it.
Actually, it was like, there's nothing more that they would do. I'm not going to waste their time or their resources with something so silly. And that's the thing, I think collectively.
It hurts though. That's an injury that lasts though. It's good you splinted it, bro.
Yeah, well, again, any good ideas that ever happen are from my wife, not me, obviously. Because I was just like, and she's like, put ice on it, wrap it. And I was like, thank God you're here.
Yes, I'm just going to have to cut it off. I don't know.
I would immediately have cut it off and buried it in the garden with some trees.
Oh my God.
Where's the
We
lighter?
talked a little bit. Oh my God. We talked a little bit about the amazing cast, and obviously you are all the faces of the show, but then Lee, you mentioned all the amazing crew and the writers. Oh my gosh, all that goes into these types of shows. Jared, this question is directly to you, but then I'd love to hear you all's experiences as well. Just starting so young in that type of environment, super cell gal, would just like to know, like, how was that relationship growing up with your fellow actors? Were they like parents, friends, uncles, aunts, and just having that be such a big chunk of your early life? I'd love to hear a little bit about it.
It's amazing. The people that I worked alongside, the cast and the crew, they've become they are my family. They're an extension of my family. I've learned so much from them. They've taught me, they've helped me grow, not just as an actor, but as a person. I wouldn't be the young man I am today without the wonderful and amazing advice I've gotten from Lee, from Lana, from Sean, from Andrew. It's incredible. They're so I hold all the memories I have on set with the cast and the crew so fondly, and I'm always so happy to look back on the advice that I've been given. So thank you guys. Thank you for helping me, for helping me grow up and be the person I am today.
You were a joy.
You, man.
Jared, you were and not all child actors are.
No, I know. I've been a long time, bro.
As someone who was a child actor, you know, some child actors can be little shits. But Jared was just a perfect, incredibly mature young lad from the first day I worked with him.
You really, you never were like, dude. You were always kind of a good soul in there. And as a child actor, you know, but I mean, you know how much I love your dad and mom. And Vinny's like my homie, you know, like when we see like his dad on the road and we're at these cons and stuff, it's like seeing a brother. So like the family, this show was about family and it was about hope. That's what Eddie and Adam said to me, like, you know, the very beginning, you know, and that's why we're important right now. Our stories are about that hope that we need, and that it's just like going to make everything taste a little better, like to have to stay home and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my gosh, family and hope. I mean, that's the right way to say it. I mean, sure, we're living in this kind of fantasy world, but but the reinventiveness of the show, I think, is what made it so strong. The characters and following them along, you know, with their relationships with other people, like relationships we would have never thought of, that would seem absurd on paper, just worked because of the amazing writing and then how you all interacted, you know, with each other. And that's why we had 7 great seasons. And what I'd love to hear from you all, we're all mentioning the fans and family and the oncers. And they're blowing it up in Twitch right now, and I hope they're watching on Facebook and YouTube as well. I would just love to hear a little bit about that experience now that the show's over. You know, just the outpouring of continued support from the fans, and just how it so lives on in these con worlds and online and in this fan universe. Yeah, any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, I just want to say I am still, to this day, it's been what, like I mean, we got to be around 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, almost 2 years. Almost 2 years now.
For being a guy, for an actor who came on late, who wasn't really around for much of the series, I was only in for the last season. The amount of love and support that all the fans really showed me from the very beginning, in terms of social media and stuff like that. And then the conventions afterward absolutely blew me away. I mean, in a lot of ways, I thought that I wouldn't have been surprised if I was just sort of an afterthought. And like the bulk of the series was, these 6 seasons, and that's what we really care about as fans. But they welcome in everyone, myself, Rose, Makia, Danya, the actors that came in later. And to get to do conventions now for 2 years after, all over, the world, and to see the outpouring and the love is totally unique, totally special. I know that it's a once in a lifetime experience. I know that I'll never work on a show that has this sort of following in this same way. And it means so much to me. And to get to do like cool stuff like this that we're doing now, which is also a totally unique experience. It's amazing. So yeah. So thank you guys, everyone who's watching and everyone who's been there, since the beginning, and then, welcome me in as a part of the family. Thank you.
I mean, seriously, like as someone who's grown up on set around with so much interaction with fans, thank you so much for supporting me in whatever endeavor and in my life, supporting me as a person, not just as an actor and a character. Thank you for supporting Jared and helping me grow and like I said, support me in whatever endeavor I choose to follow. We are a family, and that's something that's amazing about not only the cast, but also and the crew, but also the community as a whole. Like, we're fans of the show too. We're fans of each other, and we're a part of the community. And it's so wonderful to have such a amazing following that is so giving and generous and kind and caring. It's wonderful. It's so.
Oncers are badass. There's no question about it.
Oncers are badass. Yeah,
and it's exciting because I've been blessed, and I practice gratitude daily. That's another thing I recommend to everyone out there, my friends. Practice some gratitude. But I've been in a number of fandoms. That's why I've been able to get into the con world through Pirates. Great fans of Pirates. Great fans. And the thing I always say about this is both those shows, both Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, and this Once Upon a Time, were made by the fans. The excitement of the fans told the powers that be, these are stories we like. The powers that be don't always know when they choose the material, but it's the excitement. I remember early days of Once, bro, like everyone had a hashtag. Sean, I'm saying, like, it was like Team 7 and Charmings and of course, like, the Evil Regals. And I remember I was the first one on, like, I think it was Twitter or something with a picture, and I was like, I'm an Evil Regal. Because Lana, even though, because Lana's so badass in what she does, I was like, I'm in the fan club, even though my character is totally I would never,
Sean, any reflections?
I'm a once or two, baby. I'm a once or two.
Are you binging? You're binging Once right now, aren't you, Lee? That's your binge show of choice.
You know what? Whenever I do stumble it across, I think that I love it. It is a good book to open up. I mean, I'm not an actor that likes to necessarily watch my own. I'd rather watch Javier Bardem. I'd much rather watch Andy, Jared, or Sean and learn and study. I'm in class. I'm doing Zoom acting right now. It's badass, and doing my film acting class over Zoom now. So it's like,
I binged the hell out of Once in preparation for the job. I had seen it at the beginning of the show, but man, when I got that job, I was, that was the cool thing for me too, is I sat and watched so much of the show, and I was so locked into everything Jared was doing. And so I was getting to enjoy this great content, but also it was like acting class for me too, because it was like, it was my job. Like, it was part of the work, but it was also cool to just sit and like, just really get so immersed in this world for so many seasons in preparation for the job. Man, come on, like that, you can't beat that. It's like the most fun ever.
Sean, what about you? You were at the show for a long time as well. I'm sure, like, you know, we're paying attention to some of the fan fervor during when it was going, and now 2 years later, still feeling that love. You know, how does that feel?
Well, it was a new thing for me in terms of, because I worked on a number of shows and things before, some of which, you know, in the UK or elsewhere that were popular, but I'd never experienced being on a show like this was sort of a bit like being in a band or something that's a phenomenon for a minute. Yeah. I, for example, I wasn't on social media before the show and had no intention of being on social media because everything that I'd heard about it just sounded not particularly nice. And so I didn't even know that I was on Twitter for the first month because my wife did it on my behalf. Because she realized the way that the world was going and me being so much of a Philistine, she knew I wouldn't, so she did it for me. And then a month afterwards told me, oh, you are on Twitter and you have like 1,000 followers or something now. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And she had to explain it. And in fact, Michael Raymond James, the first day on set, said to me, are you on Twitter? And started explaining what shipping was. I'd never heard of shipping. And I genuinely believed he was talking about something to do with boats. And he was like, no, it's to do with relationships. He was like, you'll see.
Relationships.
It gets a little crazy. Just be careful. And so I didn't know what I was getting into in terms of the scope of the show in its fan base around the world, from Brazil to Italy to Argentina, Germany. You know what I mean? It's a truly global kind of thing to step into. And then the conventions have allowed all of us to kind of travel around the world, see cities we've probably never seen, countries we've never seen. And so I am so eternally grateful for everything that the show has given me and my family. And really, as all of you have just said, if it wasn't for the passion of the fans, none of this would have happened. The show would have been the show, but we wouldn't have done conventions. We wouldn't have been hanging out in great cities. So enormous gratitude to the fans for their passion. And look, here we are, as you say, 2 years later, we're all talking online during a pandemic about this show. So it speaks to the enduring brilliance that Adam and Eddie kind of conceived.
Yeah. Well, and even some of the crossover, a lot of you have been involved in other things that would have pretty big fan groups. You know, we mentioned Pirates, Walking Dead, The Magicians now with you, Sean. There's a lot of fun like battles going on in the Twitch feed of like, what would Gareth do if he was here? Or for Sean, if the Dark King from The Magicians met the evil Queen from Once, how would that play out? You know, things like that. Have you ever dived in and seen these sort of cross kind of fandoms coming out and kind of responded to any of them?
Oh my God, I've seen it. I've seen it from day one. But you know, the crazy thing is now we all know how well Gareth would fare in an apocalyptic future. But the crazy thing though is that like it's almost like everyone is tainted meat at this point. You know, for those who aren't like Walking Dead versed, you may not know exactly what I'm talking about, but I mean, you know, like that was the whole, that was potentially would have been the downfall of Gareth had he not met the end that he met. But I don't know, viral pandemic, I don't know how well he'd do in that case. Gareth, I don't really see those two particularly getting along very well.
Sean, what about you? Dark King versus Evil Queen is something that's blowing up right now on Twitch.
Well, you know, they're both really snappy dressers and would have made a nice couple, but the Dark King is gay. So he would probably just think she's fierce and love her, but not really get down with her. He'd probably be like, yeah, you're great to go hang out with and binge watch TV shows with, but he'd want probably some 300-year-old man to get down with. But definitely go shopping together.
It's got to be an amazing experience to be in a fantasy series or a sci-fi series because of the incredible work that's done artistically on sets and costumes and props. And this has been coming up a lot out there, most recently from David Martin. And it's a common question, but we'd love to know, and maybe you have something in your house now, but I don't know, like any costumes or props that stick out to you as being particularly memorable, ones that you maybe weren't supposed to take from set, but might have, not necessarily just on Once, but just in general. Yeah, Sean, go for it.
I actually have I was going to say the full costume. There's not much to it, but that I wore in a movie called Meet the Spartans. And the costume consists of a leather pair of pants, a red cape, and some armor, but it's actually like polystyrene, and I have the helmet. And every now and then I go to a coat closet near my front door and I see it, and I'm just like, what on earth did I bring that home for? Because I'm certainly never going to wear it again. That's an odd item that is probably just going to clutter up my closet for the rest of my life. You know, I'm in the Robin Hood costume, but that's worth like 40 grand. So ABC probably would have come after me for theft. So
I may or may not be in possession of a magic bean and a storybook, but you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah, I was gonna. I took the one thing that I took from once was the storybooks that were made at the end of the series, the new ones that they made.
Yeah, those are incredible.
I remember I posted a photo of Bobby with his Rumple made up hand, like on the storybook on my Instagram. You know, when we were finishing up, but I actually took that one. It was the one that was inscribed Henry, I think, on the bind. But it was beautiful books. Like, art department did an amazing job. But I got an axe handle. I got an axe handle from once. That was the one I wanted from once. You know, I collect. I got my pirate sword. I got my axe from Dungeons and Dragons. I like when I got some stuff from Warriors of Virtue. All the little fighting.
You've got a lot of weapons in your house now.
Dude,
everywhere.
Yeah, dude. Stay away.
Stay away. Yeah.
The other day, this is a really terrible time for burglars because how can burglars do their job at the moment while we're all indoors? And
we need to start a GoFundMe for burglars. We need to start some sort of a charitable donation.
Kickstarter for out of work burglars.
Yeah.
I'm more likely to whack you with a surfboard if you come to my house.
I know. I see it there behind you.
It's threatening. It's threatening in the back.
I was just fixing the shot, though. I will admit, I'm just fixing the shot. Because I think about that now in this new world. I mean, the Mike's background's like badass. And if we learn how to do that, there's ways to do it as we get more proficient. And it's probably going to be a cottage industry for the people out there, for backgrounds. Because we're going to have to re-engineer, somebody that's a graphic designer might be able to make a few shekels after all the masks are made.
I'm going to pay supporting artists to walk back and forth behind me.
Yeah.
Give the sense I'm in a busy coffee shop.
Oh, I love that.
They'll be crossing and just changing outfits, putting on fake moustaches.
Right.
Just running for a taxi or something.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we're almost out of time here, and I want to allow some time at the end for all of you to kind of give a shout out to anything you'd like during this tough time. But one fun, silly question right before that comes from Evil Error Regal. One word to describe Lana. We talked about some of the amazing women on the cast. One word to describe Lana, if you had it.
Badass. Amazing, wonderful. There's not just one word that could describe Lana. She's to me, I guess for me, it's technically two words, but second mom.
Ooh.
She's always been an amazing and wonderful influence on me, and working with her is incredible.
I think she does think of you as almost a sort of son of.
Yeah. I keep in contact with Lana. I need to message her, see how she's doing. And I definitely miss getting to film scenes with her and get wonderful advice from her.
I would say, I don't know if it's actually I'm going to hyphenate this word to only get one, but I would call LP a life force.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's as an artist, she brings the heat. As a person, she brings the heat. She cares about the fandom. She achieved this kind of level of stardom through just the way she played this role and has carried it. You know, I'm just as a fellow artist, I knew LP before, and we were friends from the pilot. And I say life force. So, you know, I think for the women, the powerful character of these women on our show, JMO's character, Ginny's character, and most especially that Lana. It was amazing, like a rocket ship, you know, and the way she leads this fandom with her popularity, it's just I get it because I'm in there, man. I love Life Force. Next.
Sean, you started to say something.
Just she's my friend. I gained a very dear friend out of this experience, and we were together for very significant moments now. Looking back, I mean, I was there. We spent the night filming together the night of the last general election, which was a big emotional night for a lot of people. I was working with her the day that my wife went into labor. I left, went to the hospital. She had the baby, and then I left the hospital and came straight back to set to work with Lana. So really life-defining, life-changing moment that I shared alongside her and my other castmates. And so, they're the things that's why we talked about the friendship that I think we have. We went through some seminal moments together, and Lana was very much at the forefront of a lot of that.
We'll have a bond that lasts a lifetime, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Just real quickly, I mean, I got to work with Lana a lot, and I miss her so much. I haven't seen her in a while, but if there's one word I think that's probably the most honest and accurate, I'd say just nurturing. I mean, she clearly invested a lot in her relationship with me as an actor, and also as a person, and then also as the character. She took it seriously, and she was so available and so invested in what we were in just getting to know me and getting, just becoming friends, and then also this on-screen relationship that we were carrying over. And she's was so just warm, and like, I was the new guy, and she was sort of the one who was in charge. She was sort of the mother of the cast, and she could not have made me feel more at home and comfortable. Awesome. And I love her. I had such a great experience with Lana.
Thank you. So we're about out of time. We need to give you all a break before you head into your private one-on-ones. But I'd love just to go around if you have any final thoughts, final sentiments, in a sentence or two for the fans out there, for anyone that you'd like to shout out to during these tough times. I think that'd be awesome.
I would like to say a special thank you to all of the people that are, especially in the NHS, the medical profession in England, and all of the medical professionals all around the world, the people that are going out on the front line and putting themselves at risk and not being able to see their own kids because they may contaminate them, and they're doing that for us. And I know we've heard a million people say it, but it's worth saying a million more times. I'm so grateful to every one of you that has been doing it, or your family members are doing it. We are thankful, and I promise I'm going to keep my ass at home until this thing's over in a way to say thank you and support what you're all doing.
Thank you.
Definitely. Just thank you to anybody working in the medical field, to anybody in any essential job, whether that's just working in a grocery store. You're doing so much work right now, and to thank you, that we're everyone here is going to do the best we can to stop the spread of this. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay clean, wash your hands. Thank you so much to anybody working in the medical field. I had to go to the hospital the other day because I needed stitches, and I had some wonderful people taking care of me that were kind and gracious. So thank you so much to everyone working in the essential fields.
Absolutely. And just I'd like to give a quick shout out to there's an organization, a lot of you guys might know them, but they're called No Kid Hungry, and they do a great job of making sure that meals are provided for kids, especially of low-income families who are especially hit hard by the pandemic, because a lot of these kids are typically getting their meals at school, and obviously that's not an option for them. So it's a fantastic organization that's helping kids all over the place. So
say the name of it again, Adam. Say the name of the organization.
No Kid Hungry.
No Kid
Hungry.
People.
Yeah. Great. So I would look them up. Also, if you guys want to hit me up on Cameo, 100% of those proceeds are going to be going to No Kid Hungry too. So yeah. So I would love to give them a shout out. Look into them if you're able.
Bravo,
awesome.
Mate.
Thank you.
My shout out is to all the moms and dads, all the kids stuck at home, and of course to all our brave first responders, my Amazon delivery guy, my UPS guy, US Postal, all the postal. I mean, we realize what's important, my friends. We get this chance for a bit of a reset. We realize that, there's things we can do from home now. and new ways to kind of be positive and new ways to kind of recreate and save traffic and save the planet. Right? I think this is a wake-up call for what's happening on the environment and the earth. And so let's look to that. I mean, let's look to the smart people. I believe in science, and stay home, stay safe, stay strong, and stay dreamy. Love you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for watching. And just to put you on the spot, Lee, the fans have been begging for the entire stream. They want to hear the curse, "It's here," from you. I feel like we can end with that. Let's hear it.
The curse. It's here!
Oh, I think you spiked to the feed. We might give it up one more time. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on your Saturday. Please give it up one more time
for so much.
Lee Arenberg, Andrew J. West, Jared Gilmore, and Sean Maguire.
Hey, this is Alex Malari Jr., and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Your Emperor commands it. Thanks for watching.